Hello everyone and welcome to That's English.
Hey, move over a bit, Samantha. You're taking up all the space.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's better. Personal space is very important when you're sharing a sofa.
Well, today's episode is all about space.
Charles, Danny's boss, has decided to move everyone to an open plan office where everybody shares the same space.
As you watch, answer this question. Why is Charles in favour of an open plan office?
You know, I'm going to miss this office.
Are you? I suggest you take a look at this. The new office is a spacious, dynamic working environment.
Don't you think it would have been a good idea to ask the staff whether they wanted to work in an open plan office?
But look, there's so much more floor space. You won't be cramped, believe me.
But there's no personal space in an open plan office.
Exactly. What we need most is to develop teamwork. So long as we work in this sort of isolated environment, we'll never work as efficiently as we could do.
I have no problem completing my assignments, providing I'm not interrupted all the time. I won't be able to concentrate with people walking and talking around me.
No. It all depends how the space is organised. You're ambitious, a go-getter, but not everyone is like you. There are some people who are not really completely engaged with the company's values. I recommended an open plan office because I believe it will increase productivity.
Really? How?
Look at it like this, Danny. Supposing you were in charge and you found out that some employees were spending more time on Facebook than on their work, what would you do?
Oh, I see. You recommended that the company move to an open plan office to make it easier to check up on your staff.
Malcolm? Malcolm? Malcolm?
Hey, man. What's up?
I've got to finish this report by lunchtime.
Okay. Good luck.
But no, as long as I can hear your music, it's impossible for me to write.
Okay. Sorry, man.
Malcolm? I can't upload this file onto the system.
Let me have a look. Wow. Given that you're using an app that's completely out of date and useless, I'm amazed your computer works at all. I'd suggest you uninstall it, and then I'd recommend that you download an app called Whizbly. Shall I do it for you?
No. I can do it. Thanks. Hi, is that Health and Safety? This is Danny Preston on the 6th floor. It's boiling hot in here. Yeah. Well, wouldn't it be a good idea if someone did something about the heat in this office? Please.
Well, I think the new office looks rather nice. It's more modern and spacious.
But Danny isn't keen at all. Now, let's look at the question. Why is Charles in favour of an open plan office?
I recommended an open plan office because I believe it will increase productivity.
So, Charles wants an open plan office because he thinks it will help increase productivity.
Or, as Danny says, so he can make sure his employees are really working.
In this part,
we heard people expressing conditions in the present and future using so long as long as, providing, and given that.
So long as we work in this sort of isolated environment, we'll never work as efficiently as we could do.
I have no problem completing my assignments, providing I'm not interrupted all the time.
But no, as long as I can hear your music, it's impossible for me to write.
Given that you're using an app that's completely out of date and useless, I'm amazed your computer works at all.
For example, I have no problem sharing a bedroom with someone, providing they don't snore.
Or, so long as I have my own private space to escape to, I'm happy.
We can use supposing to express a hypothetical situation.
Supposing you were in charge and you found out that some employees were spending more time on Facebook than on their work, what would you do?
So, Samantha, supposing you had to share an office with 20 other people, how would you feel?
Oh, I wouldn't mind at all.
Now, let's find out how Danny reacts to the open plan office.
Try to answer this question as you watch. Why does Maria like the open plan office?
This new office is driving me mad.
It's about change, Danny. Given that we want to compete in the market, we need to move with the times. In the old office, there was no space to move, it was much too difficult to communicate with each other, and there wasn't nearly enough light or air. The new place is so much more airy and roomy.
Really?
Yes. Most of the staff are very happy, and I love it here.
So what's the problem?
Well, if it's any more than 21 degrees, I can't concentrate. It's completely airless in here.
Guys on the other side are complaining it's much too cold.
Well, of course you can't please everyone because we're all different. That's why open plan offices don't work.
Whose desk is this?
That's Malcolm's. He takes up a lot of space and, as you can see, his desk is far too small to hold all his possessions.
Does he really need to have all that on his desk?
I have to look at that chaotic mess every day.
Wouldn't it be a good idea to move your desk so that you're not next to Malcolm? There's just about enough space for a desk by the window.
Do you really think so? Well, I suppose that would be nice. How about putting some partitions around the desks as well,
Hi, I'm Maria.
I'm Danny.
Have you just started working for the company?
No, I've been working here for just over a year now.
You're not Danny Preston, are you?
Yeah,
You worked on the Simco project last year.
that's right. Oh, you must be Maria de Planta. It's great to meet you. I must have sent you 50 emails, but we've never met.
No, that's the great thing about this office. You can really get to meet your colleagues. The old office was okay, providing you weren't in a wheelchair.
You're right. I've never thought of it like that.
3 years ago, I recommended moving to an open plan office so as to give better disability access.
Really? I seem to remember you suggested that there might be some things we could have done better on the Simco project.
Yeah, but we never had time to discuss it.
Hey, Maria, nice to see you. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm just chatting to Danny about the Simco project. Perhaps it'd be a good idea if you joined us.
Right, I'll just grab us some coffees.
Excellent. You know, perhaps this open plan office isn't such a bad thing after all.
So, Danny's beginning to see the advantages of the new office.
Yes, it can really help improve communication in the workplace.
Did you manage to answer the question? Why does Maria like the open plan office?
No, that's the great thing about this office. You can really get to meet your colleagues. The old office was okay, providing you weren't in a wheelchair.
So, Maria likes the open plan office because she can meet her colleagues and get around in her wheelchair more easily.
In the programme, we heard people recommending in different ways.
To recommend, we can use expressions like, wouldn't it be a good idea to, or perhaps it would be a good idea if.
Wouldn't it be a good idea to move your desk so that you're not next to Malcolm?
Perhaps it'd be a good idea if you joined us.
We can also use the verbs recommend or suggest.
After recommend or suggest, we use the ing form or a that clause.
3 years ago, I recommended moving to an open plan office so as to give better disability access.
I seem to remember you suggested that there might be some things we could have done better on the Simcoe project.
I recommend that they get us a bigger and more comfortable sofa in the studio.
Oh, Kieran, this sofa is quite big enough.
Wouldn't it be a good idea if we each had our own sofa?
No, it's much cosier like this.
Well, now, let's see what people in the street think about personal space.
We asked them, how important is it for you to have your own private space?
I'm an only child, so for me to have my own space is really important. I find quite frequently I want to be on my own just for a bit, and then I can, you know, go back to seeing people all the time.
It's important. I love to be around my friends and my family, but sometimes I just need a time out. When you've had a long day at work, you just want to come home, switch off, and that's when I need my own time.
Yeah, I like to have my own space. I think everyone needs their own space just to relax and wind down after work and hectic day.
Oh, it's so important to have private space so that you can contemplate and think about where you've been, what you've done for the day, what you want to do for the next day and your goals.
Very. I like to have time to myself, like to have time to think. I think that these days we're too connected sometimes. I like to be disconnected.
Very. Personal space, private space. It's reflecting on the day, reflecting on the week.
Very important, because there are times when everything around you gets on your nerves and you just think, I want to dig a hole, get inside and let the world pass over my head without people interfering, you know. It's my time and I want it that way.
I don't really. I get bored of my own company. I like to be busy seeing people. I hate staying in.
Well, everyone except the last speaker agreed that private space is really important.
Yes, they did. They like to have their own space to relax and wind down after a long day, or to switch off and disconnect.
So, what are you going to do now, Kieran?
Dig a hole, get inside, and let the world pass over my head, just like the man in the street said.
Well, have fun. Until the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.